This is from Krypton, and this is my Amazing Spider-Man 2 review. I just want to give you a quick rundown of the game. It's similar as the games before it, but actually some of the features do make it come to be a little more worthwhile to play this one compared to the previous. Now here's a rundown of some of the costumes. As you see, I've been using the Ends of Earth suit as I bought the DLC pack with all the other costumes. It's worth it if you're a Spider-Man fan. If you're just buying the game to play it through, then it might not just be for you at all, to tell you the truth. Just keep your money in your wallet. But for me, it's totally worth it. As each costume you can actually level up, and as I've seen as leveling up, it does give you damage bonuses and damage resistance, which is beneficial to have actually as the long-term events of the game take place. As just have a look for yourself as I slow down the process here so you can get a little bit of a read-in of each individual costume as it plays. Unfortunately, I'm not going to write it all down, so you'll just have to pause the video if you want to do the read-up of the history of each costume. One other thing I quickly forgot to add in, some of the costumes you can actually find within the game, so you don't necessarily have to buy costume packs, but if you want the costumes that you've seen there, like the Cosmic Spider-Man, as you see this one here, the Ultimate one, that's one I found in the game itself. I'm not going to tell you how, it's up to you to find that when you play through yourself, if you actually buy the game. Okay, and like some of the previous games, there's comic book pages or comic books in this one defined throughout the scattered throughout the city. So, of course, here's a quick look at me collecting a comic book, and then here we are. You go to Stanley. Once you collect so many of the comics, then you unlock an actual issue of previous Spider-Man comic books that have been released over the last few years. And of course, well, as you're seeing, I'm checking out the figurines here at this point, because you can acquire them from running into certain characters in the game to become unlocked, as it's like, oh, you've done a lowdown, you've actually met this person, and then here's a brief history of them. And Stan Lee, who, as you see, runs the comic book store himself. There's also a arcade game in the back of the room that you'll see in a few minutes. And there you can do like a little bit of a side mission of some sort where you can actually just sort of just to build up experience from what I've seen. I haven't played around with it too much to actually know too much about it other than that.
So, my
Now
old...
look, I'm not suggesting Wilson Fisk is overweight, but I goes to the zoo.
So, thing about
awesome.
this game is,
Some
as
sounds
all
like
previous
extras.
games, side missions require like tracking down the police cars and following them into a crime. Just firefighters, you gotta go help them rescue the civilians, beat up thugs. You know, usual side quests. In this battle in particular, you'll see the spider sense go off. As usual, you hit a random button. Now, well, not random, but the button they recommend for you to hit to do a signature move. Then there is actual signature moves that you can get when you beat one of the thugs to a point where you see circles above their head, and then you hit the corresponding button to do that signature move. Now that blast I let go, that was from tech, and just like the costumes, you can find tech throughout the game. I found it usually within the missions, but the costumes you can actually find in side missions as well. Usually after a mission, you'll find it on your map. It's marked with an icon. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's not like the other ones that we'll see, because this is not like early in the game. You'll notice all of them are kind of repetitive. You get the feel for it, so when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
That was fun.
And after this segment, we're going to go into this whole part where it tells you breaking news. And you know what? It's great for the first few times, but then it gets repetitive, kind of redundant. I get bored of seeing it actually myself. But like I said, the first few times it was pretty great. Moving along after this clip though, you're about to see how and where you place your points. Now, to tell you all in all, this has been a great experience for a Spider-Man game. I loved it. If you're a fan of Spider-Man, you'll love it too. And if you're kind of new to the Spider-Man games, then, you know, you might want to try it out when you find it at a cheaper price. But even all, get it.